Hi, I'm Steve Carmichael, Program Administrator for the Clark County Shooting Complex. I'm here to talk to you a little bit today about equipment specifically for the game of trap shooting. On one of our how-to videos on how to shoot trap, we talked about the basic way to shoot trap, give you an idea how to do it when you come to the complex, but we really didn't get into the specifics of the equipment. Trap shooting has a long, rich history. It's the oldest clay target game in the country by far. It even goes back to Europe. Back in the late 1790s, it's been traced back to France in live pigeon shooting tournaments that eventually made their way to this country and become trap shooting tournaments. In the middle, there was the development of glass ball type targets to replace the original live pigeons that used to be used for competitions. The glass balls sometimes were filled with feathers to simulate shooting a live bird. Eventually, the glass ball competition went by the wayside. Just too much glass laying around and too costly to produce. So in the 1870s, a gentleman by the name of Legowski developed the first clay target, which is saucer shaped, looked very much like we have today. And this has been the dominant target for trap shooting. The same target is actually used for skeet and sporting clays today as well. So anyway, we arrived at the clay target in about 1870 or so. We were able to establish competition in the United States in Ohio as early as 1873, and trap shooting tournaments have continued to grow since that time. The Grand American Trap Shooting Handicap Championship in Ohio was the largest individual participation sport in the world prior to the Boston Marathon. Little known fact for you, the Grand American Handicap Championship in 1999 had 5,000 people in one event. And so trap shooting, like I say, is the high volume game of all the clay target games. We're going to talk a little bit about the equipment. Obviously, equipment has changed vastly over the years. In the early years, I mean, they were using muzzle loaders and flintlocks, things like that to shoot in some of the early live bird competitions. But as the game advanced, obviously, equipment got more sophisticated too. Back in the 1930s, we started seeing a lot of side-by-side shotguns, a few single barrels, a few pumps. The model 1897 pump gun by Winchester was prevalent on a lot of fields. The Ithaca single barrel, there's a Sousa grade that's actually named after John Philip Sousa. The Winchester Model 21 and the Remington Model 32, these were all predominant trap guns of the 30s and into the 40s. Then as we got into the 60s, things changed quite a bit. Back in the late 50s to the mid 60s, probably 95% of your trap shooters in competition were shooting Model 12 Winchesters, which was a pump gun. These dominated the sport for 10 or 15 years. There was also a few 870 Remingtons, a few Browning BT99s, and a few Browning over and unders in the Lightning and Broadway versions. In about 1971, the gun come across from Italy that really revolutionized trap shooting. It was the Perazzi TM1 single barrel. And all of a sudden, everybody's game was elevated to a new level. The Perazzi TM1 made more better shooters than ever before, and is probably attributed to being the greatest stepping stone to higher achievements in trap shooting. It paired along with the Perazzi MX8 combo and some of the other guns of today like Ludic monoguns, Krieghoff KD trap specials, and Beretta 687, 680 over and under combo guns. All these have contributed to higher scores in today's games and higher proficiency among the shooters. When you're going to go to a facility like ours and you're going to shoot trap, you want to get the barrels that are the longest. You want long guns, you want long stocks, you want high stocks, so when you mount the gun, your eye is in the correct position, looking down the rib of the gun. You want something that fits you correctly, and you want a choke that's a full choke or at least an improved modified for trap. Not only the way that how many targets you hit, but the way you hit the targets is important in trap shooting. When you're leaving those little black balls of smoke of a clay target, it keeps your head into the game properly, keeps you in a competitive spirit. So it's not just breaking the target, it's how you break the target. So you want tight chokes. I recommend full chokes or improved modified chokes. Shells, if I had to pick one shell, it would be what I would consider a light load, a 2 3/4 dram, 2 3/4 inch, 1/8 of 7.5. It's a low recoiling shell. It patterns well. It works well on targets from all distances. So when you come out and see us out here at the Clark County Shooting Complex, try to select the right type of equipment. If you're purchasing something in town, this is what I'd recommend. I mean, to me, if you're a dedicated trap shooter and really competitive, the single barrel trap gun is king. Second choice would probably be a 32-inch automatic or pump gun. And the third choice would probably be a 32-inch barrel over and under. That may surprise a lot of people. The reason I put the over and under third is simply because of my style of shooting. When I mount the gun and hold it up over the trap field, I'm looking through the gun. I'm a two-eyed shooter. I'm looking through it at the trap house. The bottom barrel gets in my way a little bit. How you hold on the trap can make a difference. So anyway, just these are some of my personal preferences, and I hope you're able to use that to make you a better trap shooter. Thanks.